There's a price we all pay for the things we do.
What I especially like the song Darkness Within, we hear your singing voice. Really good voice.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it is. When did you decide to do this?
When did I decide to sing?
Yeah.
I, I've been singing for a while, you know, here and there. Kind of sprinkled.
Yeah, well, but this is for me. It starts off the song. It's just
Burning Red, you know.
Yeah, I know, but this is I don't know. This is a song for me that it starts off like an acoustic song,
Yeah.
and then we hear you singing, and I thought it was a pretty um, risky choice to make, or not? Was it for you, or was it just something that you just decided what to do?
Yeah, I mean, you know, for us it was just about the goosebumps. If we got the goosebumps when we were writing it, or you know, that song, it started out well, originally Dave wrote those first four chords, and it was kind of like I loved it. I thought it was like a cool kind of Pink Floyd jam, and Phil wrote the other riff, and so originally it just was going over those first four chords, all the lyrics, everything was over that, and I'd written this cadence that, you know, was very. I just watched that movie Crazy Heart. There's a part at the end of it where like this song comes up and the guy's singing in this croaky cigarette voice. It sounds like he drank as much as I drank last night. You know, like half a gallon of whiskey, and it's cool. So I'd kind of been jamming that riff that he wrote, and kind of just sitting on my bed for like an hour and a half, just kind of hypnotizing myself almost. And the next day I went and I dropped my kids off at school, and it was February. So, and I live in Northern California, so it's just been raining forever, like just 3 months or 2 months straight of just rain. And it was a particularly miserable day. Like it was like the ultimate miserable day, just pouring rain. And I live in this area called Virginia Hills, so like there's like mountains, and and I pulled over on the side of this dirt road after I dropped my kids off, and I was like, okay, you know, what do you got? This is something's got to come. You know, fog rolling over hills and rain, and so at first it was all very like I just pulled out my iPhone, I started typing, and all my lyrics were very Lovecraftian. You know, it's like I was in an H.P. Lovecraft poem. So at first it's, you know, fog rolling over hills and whippoorwills and dead fetid branches and spider webs, and so I got that out, and I was like, okay, you know, I can't. This is, and then at some point it turned into, you know, at some point, like I had kind of come out of a depression, you know, I had been depressed for a little while, and so it started talking about that, and
Why? How come?
just because that's what I write about, you know, like I just write about the things that I'm
No, but I mean, you
at the moment. You know.
well, you were saying you were depressed. How come? What happened?
I don't remember, you know, I mean, you know, we're going back like 10 months, I don't know, like, you know, I think I was maybe going through a rough spell with my wife or something, like I can't remember what, but I remember writing about that, you know, and started typing in my notes in my iPhone, and then it turned into at some point it turned into this thing about, you know, just my life as a musician, and I love, you know, I've made music since I was 16, you know, I don't know anything else, and as great as it is at times, you know, there is there is a consequence, you know, with my wife and with my kids, and you know, going on tour for 3.5 years, and I wanted to say something, you know, so I can't, you know, I wrote that. I wanted to say something to my sons, you know, so my sons, I love you evermore, and though the road beckons once more, I see the damage that I've done in search for redemption. You know, I wanted to have something that, you know, that they could hear someday and know, you know, why I go away and stuff. And
Do they blame you? Your
what's
kids?
that?
Do your kids blame you for being away sometimes?
Yeah, they get mad, you know, for sure. You know, I mean, I just saw my youngest son. You know, I brought him out to Florida, and you know, he was really mad that I was going on tour again. You know, like, I hate your band. I hate what you're doing, and you know, it's tough. You know, and I can't get mad at him for it. You know, like I get it. You know, I went away for 3.5 years. So
It must be then a real internal struggle for you, the love of music and the love for your wife or your children.
yeah, yeah. There's a price we all pay for the things we do. You know? And
Do you,
that's you know. But ultimately, I mean, I knew. You know, we knew that, you know, bringing a kid into this world, like that would be, my life wasn't going to change. And so, you know, that's the balance that I try and have. And, you know, ultimately I sat there and continued the song about just, you know, how much I love music and why I love music. You know, music is, and that's what that song's about, you know, just what I have gotten from music, not my own music, but other people's music. It's carried me to my highest highs and saved me through my lowest lows. And that's the power of it. You know, there's nothing else like music. There's nothing else. You know, it has this incredible, for me, incredible saving power.
so you don't feel the need to choose between your family and music. You're saying this is my life and this is how it is.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, it's a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to work that in. Yeah, I've got to work my family into that. Yeah, for sure. It's not one or the other. Like, you know what I mean?
Sometimes it can.
It's like you have to incorporate
Yeah.
both. You know.
So what?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard. You know, I get off a tour and it's like roaring, you know, king of the world, and you get home and you know the wife's screaming at you and your kids are screaming at you and you're like, you know, can't even be heard. You know, like.
But is it? What sort of? I can imagine that your wife has said to you, "Well, it's been nice the last 3.5 years. Do what you have to do, but can't we just make the tours some shorter and that you be home a little more often?"
Well, you
Did
know,
you have this conversation?
the thing is though, is that like when I am home, I'm home for the whole time. You know, I mean, like I was just home for a year, which is not something like any regular 9-to-5 job would be. You know, so that was cool. I mean, I'm writing or whatever. I'm going to practice 3 or 4 times a week, but not all day. It's not, you know, it's not a 9-to-5. So that's the
But
flip side of it.